But here is a drosh from Rena.
The following conversation has happened between 2 and 7 times a week over the last year. Rena, how are you? What have you been up to? Oh, you know, raising a 6-year-old, teaching. My union is on strike, so I'm not working that much. Oh, and I went back to grad school to become a cantor. A cantor? Ugh, I'm such a bad Jew. Raise your hand if you have used the phrase, I am a bad Jew. Okay, raise your hand if you're lying. I've taken a lot of time over the last year to try to figure out why we say this and what it means. So when I did 23andMe, it came back 99.7% Ashkenazi Jew. I'm literally an A+ Jew. How can I be bad at that? The truth is, being Jewish isn't something you can be good or bad at. It's something you are, by your genes, your ancestors, some by choice, by your digestion, your guilt, your inability to choose a restaurant, your strong ability to judge other people's fashion choices. Being Jewish is in the way you see the world. And no matter how many bacon wrap prawns you had at the Jesus Christ Superstar cast party, you will not be a bad Jew. You are Jewish. If the kind of Jew you are comes to services once a year to hear Jan speak and to hear the Kol Nidre, you're not good or bad. You're Jewish. If you light a Yortzeit candle once a year for a loved one you've lost, you're not good or bad. You're Jewish. If you decide to hold weekly Shabbat dinners for your family and friends, you're not good or bad. You're Jewish, and please invite me. I guess it just comes down to the kind of Jew you want to be in the world. But being here today, sitting amongst each other and hearing these prayers and the melodies and listening to your inner thoughts, that kind of Jew is one I think is pretty darn fantastic. But I've had to decide what kind of Jew I want to be in the world right now. And I've decided that I want to be a Jew of service, a Jew of leadership, a Jew whose absolute love of music gets shared every Friday morning with these teeny tiny preschoolers as I lead their Shabbat service. And I want to be the kind of Jew who sings Stephen Schwartz and Alan Menken from the Bema because they are sacred. I want to be the kind of Jew who spends the next 6 years learning everything there is to know about being a cantor. Does that make me good or bad? No, it makes me broke. I also want to be the kind of Jew who constantly questions the validity of God. Because sometimes I just believe in the power of music and humor. And thankfully, being Jewish means knowing that humor is often what brings us together. And I also want to be the kind of Jew who reminds people that we don't have to be Jewish. We get to be Jewish. So when Jan asks me to sing songs like The Lion Tamer last night, about a young girl who takes a moment to connect to her purpose, and in finding it, she hopes that she will be seen, noticed by someone, something, and the Avinu Malkeinu, which asks of our God to notice us, Kol Nidre, which brings attention to the feelings we get when we hear a melody, and speaks to the vows we take on Yom Kippur, vows to be a good Jew versus a bad Jew. I don't believe that's it. Vows to be seen. The Shema, we ask to be heard. The Aleinu, we ask to be humbled. Joni Mitchell's Circle Game, we ask to notice the children around us getting older. These specific pieces of music make me, and I hope you, feel connected. Because when I get to sing them, I connect to this newfound love of being seen as a cantor, a leader, a person of service, a Jewish woman. So as we sit here, on the holiest of days, atoning, forgiving, questioning, perhaps we can take a moment and ask ourselves, have I been seen? How can I live my life in a way that's so authentic to myself and perhaps a little Jewish that I will be noticed, not by others, not by God, but by ourselves? And I hope today you leave here feeling so proud of who you are, where you've come from, And I hope you know how lucky we are to still be here, praying together to show the world that nothing will end our story. The only thing Jews are bad at is casting.